Why is my fire alarm going off right now? Welcome back, fellas, to another video. Today, we're breaking down my top 5 wide receivers in the 2025 class. I am not with consensus on a few different players here, so it's going to be looking a little bit different. I'm going to have timestamps down below if you just want to skip to the players. Ranking them 5, 2, 1. This is in order, and if you guys want to see my full top 10, all my top 20, we can get to that, as well as I'm going to continue to rip out some running backs further down the line here as we continue down the running backs. So I didn't forget about the running backs. I just want to do some wide receiver breakdowns of the top guys so far, because then I want to get into some niche guys. Shout out Ty Felton. He's one of the guys I'm liking so far, and we'll keep it moving there. So he would be an honorable mention for me. He's like outside probably. He's probably around number 10 for me, but Ty Felton I really like so far. I've been watching his film today. But now to break down the big guys. Starting number 5, my number 5 player, Emeka Egbuka out of Ohio State. Obviously, he's a 22-year-old receiver, a little bit on the older end, not anything too crazy though. He feels like he's been playing forever. Played with Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave. He's obviously played with Jeremiah Smith last year. Played with Marvin Harrison. So he's played alongside some great talent. He's a primary slot wide receiver that we're going to see mainly be a slot in the NFL. A lot of people giving him just straight up JSN comparisons. He played with JSN. Another guy to compare him to there. So I wouldn't say he's as good as JSN. In my opinion, I think he's worse. He's not as smooth as JSN either. So I think he's a little bit fine at the lower down tiers compared to JSN, who's wide receiver 1 in this class. Damn near, for most people at least. 6'1", 202 frame, so good frame. 81 receptions for 1,000 yards this year with 10 touchdowns. Obviously a fantastic offense in Ohio State in general. So that is obviously good to see. 2023 to down year, only 41 receptions for 515 yards and 4 touchdowns though. Played over 10 games, so not as good there, but he's had some good seasons. 2022 is a better season for him. Obviously a lot of play time for him, but let's hop straight into the film and see why he's my number 5 receiver. We're gonna be starting here a little bit later into the Oregon game. Every play for Emeka is gonna be out of the Oregon game. I know a few other guys I have film on. I'm going to be bouncing around some games, but for him, I'm just kind of staying in the Oregon game. He had 10 receptions for 90 yards in this game. Felt like it was a pretty good game to knock on. Plus, you're playing the number 1 team in the country. This game they lost. Close game in Oregon, in Eugene. This is a lot of what we're going to see out of Emeka this season. I think he's going to run a lot of plays. This is pretty much what they ran at Ohio State. RPOs, RPOs, RPOs. You have Quinn Junkins. You have Trayvon Henderson. Why not run a ton of RPOs? You've one of the best receivers. Not one of the best. You're the best receiver in college football in Jeremiah Smith, along with Emeka, who's also another top receiver. Boom. Bang 8. Get it to him fast. Get him out early. That's a lot of what he does here. Screens, bubbles, all that sort of stuff. He does a lot of motion and run plays. He's just a slot guy. He's a slot specialist. I don't see him ever playing really the X, which kind of pulls him down. Because I think damn near 3 of the top 4 guys on this list can play about everywhere. I don't think Emeka can play everywhere. I think he's a slot. I think that's just kind of what he is naturally. There's also a lot of plays here where Will just misses him. I don't like Will a lot on film, but I'm not a quarterback person, so I can't really break him down here. Here we got Emeka right here on the outside, coming in to be in the stack position where he's most comfortable. Going to hit you with a quick whip route. Loses footing a little bit, but ends up getting outside of man. I want to see that tackle being broken, but this is what he's going to do best. Motion a lot, play that slot. His route running is very good. His hands are good. I know you don't see a lot of drops from him on tape. It's something definitely to note. His releases are also really good, but again, he's a slot receiver, so his releases, he's not going to be pressed very often. Here we can see him having a little bit of a bigger play here. The zone, these two just mess up right here. Right, they're supposed to be switching off. They don't. You're supposed to bracket this, aka, or not bracket this, just to just switch this. So if he goes in, he gets him. If he goes out, he gets him. If he stays out, he gets him. If he stays in, he gets him. Pretty simple concept, right? But apparently not for Oregon. They're saying sticky, stay sticky. Well, allows him for a quick wheel route. Easy touchdown, nothing really to hard poem on there, but more picking apart the defense than anything else. All right, here we go. Here's another play. Emeka is in the slot right here. Wow, my drawings are horrible today.
Oh, well, you're Pablo Picasso. Really? No, not really.
Right here. Bang, good move, good in cut. Gets it, make a play, spin off for a few extra yards. He loves the spin move. This whole Ohio State team does. Get there, make a move. His running stature just doesn't look smooth. That's like the one thing I do harp home about is like you love to see a good glide out of guys, and he doesn't naturally have a glide. Like here, I just want to show you this play one more time. Like look at how he runs. I feel like it's just bulky. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me nitpicking. But those are the main plays out of Emeka. I mean, there's not really too much to harp on here. I'm not going to bore you with plays from 2022. 2023, he didn't really do much. There's nothing really crazy highlights out of him. He's just a consistent slot guy that's going to do the job day in, day out. I think he's going to be a later breakout in the NFL, kind of like JSN was, where he's going to need a year to get his feet wet, and then I think he can really break out as a wide receiver 2/3 in the NFL. My number 4 receiver is going to be a little bit of a surprise for some people. It's going to be Trey Harris out of Ole Miss here. I think he could be even a little bit higher than this if we wanted to. I'm a big Trey Harris guy. 6'2", 205 frame rate, a 4.5 40, 23 years old, just turned 23. So just turned 23, had 60 receptions, 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns. We're used to seeing some pretty big games out of him. In 2023, to 54 receptions for 985 yards, 8 touchdowns. Just your stereotypical Ole Miss receiver here. The guys that are going to be consistent, big frames. You love to see it. Go get him guy. Great hands. Can play inside, can play outside. He's your stereotypical wide receiver 1 in an offense, and I think he proved it in a lot of ways here. We're going to be starting in this Kentucky game versus Ole Miss, where they actually lost this game. Kentucky had one of the best defenses in the entire college football space here at this time. We're going to be looking at an in-cut on this one. Again, the quality stinks right now. The whole tape on this one, the whole quality kind of stinks, but you're going to have to live with it. Great. Oh, my beautiful in-cut. Attack it. Now get up the field. Get loose. Get loose. And he's going to take it to the hizzy. It's just smooth. This is the difference. I don't think, like, there's times where a guy like Emeka gets sticky like this, but I think Trey's in-cut is seriously one of the best. Like, it is so smooth. You'll see him run an out route later. His cuts are just so good for him being his size. Like, he doesn't feel 6'2", 205 pounds. Reminds you a lot of, like, the A.J. Brown-esque back when he was playing. Just comparing Ole Miss to Ole Miss guys, but, yeah. Here's his out route. Again, he's outside receiver here. And he's going to put this corner on his ass. Oh, man. Great route. Great route. Great route. And he fights for extra yardage. This is what you love to see. Look at, okay, so he's going to set him up like he's running a post. Cuts it down. Head inside. Boom. As soon as he turns his hips here, he's cooked. Right? He gets into a nice skate. He's fine right here. Then he turns. Because he made him bite. Great route, dude. Great route. Here's a play that you're going to probably look at and be like, why is this so fantastic? It looks like he's jogging. And that's like because his pacing is something I really like out of Trey Harris. He knows when to be in the right spots. And that's something a lot of young receivers don't have. They just want to get there. They want to get there. You have to be able to set up the play nice. He's going to motion in here. And the whole process of this play is it to be a deep crossing route concept. We're going to see him come across the field. It's going to be almost more like a post across the field. And what Trey's going to do is come under him to force this safety to be in an absolute blender and have to pick. Because these linebackers are not going to get deep enough, right? And look at him be patient. Because he could easily bolt and then these two cross at the same time and it's not good. But look at the perfect timing. Sits. Now he sees him go. He knows he can cut it off. Boom. Cuts it right under. Wide open. Safety has to pick one. Wide open. Sits in the zone. Sees he's wide open. Gets it. Gets up the field. Takes it to the hizzy. Just smart. Way to pace it out. Sit in the zone. Be your quarterback-friendly guy. Get up the field. Get in. Love to see that, Trey. I want to show this play for Trey. Again, we're not going to be staying on guys for very long because we have 5 guys to go through, but I just want to show this play because this is This play's nuts. This is nuts. This is, you want Trey Harris in a nutshell? Look at this. This is against a press. Penn State played press almost this entire game. Said, hey, if you're going to beat us, beat us. And my God, Trey Harris had a game. Look at this. Just perfect. Boom. Go get it, big dog. Go get it, big dog. High point. Adjusting back to the ball. Ball's thrown behind him. Gets it. Strong hands all the way down. Dog of a catch. Dog of a catch. Same thing here. Look at this down low press coverage. Beat me with a different corner. Come on. Stick me. Can't, dude. One-on-one coverage. His release is just so damn good. And we barely get to see it over there because the camera's not wide enough. But this is what we pretty much saw all game out of him. Like right about here. All game. Press coverage. Give it to me. Slant route. You can't beat him. He's attacking the ball. His hands are great. He's an amazing release. Great wide receiver 4 in this class. I'm really high on Trey Harris. And I'm going to be honest. Like, I could argue with him higher than my number 3 guy. And a lot of people aren't going to like it. But I could. I think this is like 3-1, 3A, 3B. My number 3 player is going to be someone that we have a lot of pushback on. It's going to be Tetairoa McMillan. The big cat, 6'4", 219, waiting at the combine, 21 years old. By the time he's in the draft, he's going to be 22 years old by April. So 22 years old. Obviously, fantastic back-to-back years. I was at 84 receptions, 1,300 yards, 8 touchdowns. In 2023, 90 receptions, 1,400 yards, and 10 touchdowns. Just dog of a year. Obviously, he's at Arizona, right? So he's not playing in the SEC. He's not playing against the big cats. But he still has great years nonetheless. And a lot of people are really high on him, saying he should be a lock to be a top 10 pick. It's kind of the consensus right now that he's going to be there. Personally, just from gutters, don't agree. And that's just fine. We can agree to disagree on some things. I think he plays too much like a 6'4", 220 guy to be that top 10 pick. When I think of top 10 picks that are like the guys, I think of like the Jamar Chases of the world, the Malik Neighbors of the world. I think of pretty much all the LSU receivers that have come out in recent days. You think of like the Marvin Harrisons of the world. You think of, obviously, if we go back in time, Amari Coopers of the world, the Jalen Waddles of the world, the Mike Williams got drafted back in the day, but I mean, he didn't really pan out too well. Mike Evans, this is kind of everyone's comp. Mike Evans, I don't really agree with it, but I think Drake London had a little more versatility. My problem with him is I don't see enough versatility out of him. Like, I feel like you have to play him as your X no matter what. You have to have him be a Drake London. You have to have him a Tetairoa McMillan. You have to have him be, you have to have him be Tetairoa McMillan. You have to have him be a Mike Evans. I don't know if that's his role. He doesn't high point the ball like I really want him to. He has some crazy one-handed catches. His hands are fantastic. His routes are all right. He doesn't have the glide that I'm looking for. I know I talked about the glide earlier with Trey. I talked about the glide with Emeka. I don't think he has it. We're going to break down some film here where we go over it. We're going to look at him against BYU real quick. This is the one play I have against him for BYU. We can see him here. This is where you can see the glide. We can see where he's working with. Obviously, he's going to line up in the slot there to get a free release with a one-on-one on a safety. Safety bites on him moving in. Does a back cut. He didn't run the combine. I think there's a reason for it. I don't think he would have ran above a 4.6 or below a 4.6. I just don't really see it. Again, he has a ton of talent in the world. He does stuff like this on the regular basis. That's nuts. I mean, he's a great jump ball guy. That's what you're going to use him for. He's a great X. He's going to get a lot of fade ball, going to get the separation. Tetairoa McMillan, great receiver, great jump ball guy. Going to be a solid X in the NFL. Can't do much else outside of that. I think he's pretty fluid. Doesn't really scream at me of fluidity. Releases are great. Has a great release. Obviously, long arms, powerful guy. So he's that going for him. Cuts are all right. They try to use him in the screen game. He's got pretty decent yak for his size. Not as good as a lot of people are like saying, oh, he's one of the best yak receivers. Like, no, I don't think so. But he's more than capable for sure. Great route here. against Travis Hunter as well, too. Way to get his hips low and cut down. Again, he's a good route runner. He's not bad. His in cuts are a little bit shaky. Out cuts are not the best, but he's able to get in and out of his cuts pretty decently. Also, hell of a play by Travis. Just nuts. But good route here at the top by Tet. Quarterback should hit him right now. He should be putting that ball right here. But it is what it is. Again, Tet's my wide receiver 3. Still great. Still really like him. Obviously, first-round grade for him. I don't think Emeka has one. Trey, I have a first-round grade on, too. I think there should be 4 receivers that go in the first round. I highly doubt they do. I think Trey will end up being a round 2/3 guy, but I really like him a lot here. My wide receiver 2 is going to be Matthew Golden. Not too much to really harpoon here. Obviously, ran a 4.29 at the combine. Obviously, he has a build of 5'11", 191 pounds. 21 years old, so again, younger guy. 2024, he had 58 receptions, 977 yards, and 9 touchdowns. Speedster. Can play in the slot, can play a little bit outside, primarily a slot, but he can do a little bit of everything. That's kind of the same familiar with these top 2 guys. Can kind of do a little bit of everything. It's what you like to see in offenses with good schemes. Watching the film back, by the way, in these games has made me realize how bad some of the quarterback play is at the college football level. But we're going to be starting against Georgia. I think that's the best way to start. Obviously, Georgia's the best defense in college football, damn near. So we like to see, obviously, them, Penn State, Ohio State are all at the top. So we want to see how he did against Georgia. Here's a play we're going to see out of him. Motion outside, get moving, great in cut. Fluid. He's got the glide that you like. And what you're talking about with glide, I don't think I described it well enough the first time. When you look at a player like Jamar Chase, when you look at a player like Justin Jefferson, how these guys are running full speed, but they almost look like they're jogging. This is what we call a glide for the football terms there, where he's gliding in his stride. Bang, in cut. He literally has the corner doing a fucking baseball turn. No shot. His speed is next level speed. That really helps his game out. But also he has great hands.
They're quite exquisite.
He's going to catch just about everything. You saw in the championship game, or not the championship game, the semi-championship game, multiple times. He doesn't even get the ball here. I just wanted to show the release. His feet are so fast. Boom. Good in cut. Boom. Cut. Like the ball should be there. Why you're throwing to Isaiah Bond, who's in literal Strapsville, I don't know. I don't know, Quinn Ewers. Why are you bad? I don't know. Like, ISA 1 doesn't have him. You don't have him. He's inside, don't have him. What you do have is Matthew Golden right here sitting nice and pretty with inside, because Jalen Walker's going to be on the tight end here. Boom. Oh, my God. He catches a ball here. He could, or even turn it right up there. He could have a big play, but obviously, Quinn Ewers doesn't get it to him there. Then we're going to be looking at a little bit of an adjustment here. Oh, this is just a great adjustment back to the ball. Bad throw. Great in cut. Again, playing on the outside here. Boom. Show your speed. Sit down. Great in cut. Adjust back to the ball. Again, good hands.
Extraordinary.
He has great hands. A lot of receivers drop this pass. Golden's able to make up for it. Ball thrown behind him on a great route. Matthew Golden, great releases. Not the best, but solid releases. Elite speed. Great yak after the catch. Was used in the run game as well. Is a versatile player that can play inside and outside. Primarily inside, but can play a little bit of the outside as well. Solid frame. Just can kind of as a do-it-all receiver. I really like his hands as well. Solid in-cuts and out-cuts out of him. Release tree. Route tree has been solid so far from what I've seen. He's run just about everything. I really like him a lot as a player, as a late bloomer coming into this draft class. And my number 1 guy is my favorite receiver. And I'm going to be honest, it's not really that close for me. Luther Burden is amazing to watch. He's amazing to watch. He makes every play you could possibly imagine. He does everything right. Obviously, a horrible year this year, down. The whole team, though, in general for Mizzou was quite atrocious, and you can't undersell that. He's 6'2", 206, ran a 4.4 40. He's 21 years old. Won't turn 22 until December of this year. So a young player. 2024, he had 61 receptions for 676 yards and only 6 touchdowns. But in 2023, he was the consensus wide receiver 1. He could have So if he would have gone to the draft last year, he probably would have been wide receiver 2 or 3. I think he would have been a solid 3. Like, he would have gone top 10 last year if he was drafted last year. 86 receptions, 1,200 yards, 9 touchdowns, and he is the best slot receiver in this class, but he can play outside. He can do everything. He can be used as a gadget guy. He's used to run the ball all the time, be in motion, used in the backfield. And he's so many good plays here. Let's hop straight into it. We'll start against LSU. It's probably his best competition. This is a 2023 film. I just want to show this clip. This is what you're getting out of him. This is what you're getting out of him. Here's Luther Burden for you. Quick slot, big move, no real separation. Use his arms. Bang, stick it. Stick it, come down with it. One time. Yeah, we see Ted doing this all the time. Not at 6 foot. Just awesome. 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 Awesome stuff. Then we're going to head into the next one. A quick flag route here out of him. Here we look at Burden here. Slot receiver. Coming out. Great release to get inside. Flag route. Turn it out. Bang. Wide open. Get it, kid. Great speed, obviously. He has the glide, though. You know what I'm talking about? Where he just looks so shifty, so smooth. Now get up the field. Able to make some great cuts, stay up on his feet. He doesn't go down easy either. He's a great yak receiver, thick base. And this is what he's good at, right? His specialty. There's nothing better than Luther Burden on a slot fade. There's literally nothing. Nothing better than Luther Burden right here. Stick it. Now get out. Get out, kid. Yep. Touchdown. You're not touching him. There's no one better in college football at running a slot fade than Luther Burden. Not even Jeremiah. All of 2023, this was what it was. Now, this is this year, I'm pretty sure, against South Carolina. This was this year against South Carolina. But all year, dude, it's just... He knows how to play leverages so well. And obviously, he's great hands. He knows how to torque his body. Great adjustments on the ball. Here's another one in a bunch set. Again, the glide that I'm talking about here, like the way he moves. Also, great move at the end here. I just want to show something quick. Get out to him early. Oos, oos. Just a little glide. Show that speed there. Galloping. Takes a hit. Sit the fuck down. I'm not going down that easy. Get off me. Get off me.
Get off me.
Just a fun receiver that can do everything, dude. Great yak ability. Can run every route under the sun. Can run the ball for you. He tacks the ball with very high hands. Catches everything that comes to him. I love Luther, dude. Oh, I didn't even see this play. I probably did, but I just forgot about it. Look at this focus. Rolled a no catch. I don't give a fuck. Tips it. Bang. The concentration. Holy shit. Dub. Need a better quarterback for him, though. But... no, it is what it is. Those are my top 5 receivers. If we're going in order again, it's going to be Luther Burden at the top, Matthew Golden, Tetairoa McMillan, Trey Harris, Emeka Egbuka. Those are my top 5 guys. Again, Luther Burden's a guy that can kind of do it all for me. I love him in the slot. I like him a little bit outside. I think he's one of the more explosive guys. His yak is awesome. He's a great glide, a fantastic in cut, great out cut. He knows how to play leverages perfect and sit in zones. Matthew Golden, a great guy with a great mental awareness, good hands, amazing burner speed. Another yak guy that can play a little bit of everything. You prefer him to be a slot, but can fit into a lot of offenses. Tetairoa McMillan, an outside X receiver that has a ceiling of Drake London. You'll love to see him if he could turn into that Drake London style that we've seen. I think it's going to take a year to develop, though. If we could see that out of him, that's exactly what you're going to look for. You're going to see a year. We just saw a big year out of Drake. Maybe we could see it out of Tet too. As I just want to see him use his frame a little bit better than he does now. Maybe he'll be a little more fluid once he gets under some NFL training. But I really like Tet there. Number 3, Trey Harris, just an absolute baller of a player. Fantastic hands, fantastic adjustment to the ball. 6'2", 205 frame. Just can play everything over there at Ole Miss. Did everything. Coming out of the Lane Kiffin offense, you love to see receivers coming out of that offense. So I really like Trey Harris there. And Emeka Egbuka, you know, the all-star slot coming out of Ohio State. You can't fade Ohio State slots. That's my number 5 here for you guys. Let me know if you guys hate any of these guys. I want to do more in-depth breakdowns, but I don't want these videos to be like 9 years long. That's kind of like the hard balance I'm trying to figure out right now. So I'm only doing like 3 or 4 clips of these guys to kind of show you just some glances. But if you want full breakdowns on any of these guys, let me know in the comments below. If you want to see my list 5 through 10, if you want to see my list 10 through 20, if you want me to do a full tier ranking, I can do that as well. Let me know in the comments below what you guys want to see, and make sure to subscribe if you're new, because I'm going to be putting out videos like this all throughout the pre-NFL season, and even into the NFL season. We'll be breaking down schemes as well and whatnot. So make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, also to fudge it down below, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.